The three sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, understood the command of God to be fruitful and to multiply. Here we see the increase in population in the world from the three sons of Noah. Let's dive in today and look into the generations of these three sons of Noah from Genesis chapter 10. Hi, welcome to this channel. I'm Cecilia. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So today we're going to study the book of Genesis chapter 10, and we're going to look at the whole chapter, and it reads, "These are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. The sons of Javan, Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. From these, the coastland people spread in their lands, each with his own language, by their clans in their nations. The sons of Ham, Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Rama, and Sabteka. The sons of Rama, Sheba, and Dedan. Cush fathered Nimrod. He was the first on earth to be a mighty man. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. From the land he went into Assyria and built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Ir, Calah, and Resen between Nineveh and Calah. That is the great city. Egypt fathered Ludim, Anamim, Lehabim, Naphtuhim, Pathrusim, Casluhim, from whom the Philistines came, and Caphtorim. Canaan fathered Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusites, the Amorites, the Gigashites, the Hivites, the Arkites, the Sinites, the Avadites, the Zemarites, and the Hamathites. Afterward, the clans of the Canaanites dispersed, and the territory of the Canaanites extended from Sidon in the direction of Gerar as far as Gaza, and in the direction of Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim as far as Lasha. These are the sons of Ham, by their clans, their languages, their lands, and their nations. To Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the elder brother of Japheth, children were born. The sons of Shem, Alam, Ashur, Apaskad, Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram, Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Apakshad fathered Shelah, and Shelah fathered Eber. To Eber were born two sons. The name of the one was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. Joktan fathered Almodad, Shelef, Hazamaveth, Jerah, Hadoram, Uzal, Diklah, Obal, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. The territory in which they lived extended from Mesha in the direction of Sephar to the hill country of the east. These are the sons of Shem, by their clans, their languages, their lands, and their nations. These are the clans of the sons of Noah, according to the genealogies in their nations. And from these, the nations spread abroad on the earth after the flood." So by the end of Genesis chapter 9, we saw that only 8 people lived in the world, assuming that only 8 people before they started reproducing. By the time they came out of the ark, that was Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives. And now we are seeing now the increase in population and them giving birth and the generations down the line, and how the world got populated and how people spread across the world. Now we are looking at how the world was populated, beginning from these 3 sons of Noah. So what is the teaching of Genesis chapter 10? We are told of the generations of the 3 sons of Noah, like we have read just now. The generations of Japheth became coastland people. Then they had their own languages by their clans and their nations. We are told that each and every tribe, or say each and every generation, had its own language according to their clans, and also they had their own nations, how they lived, and they all lived in different places. And we are told of Nimrod, who is a descendant of Ham, and we're told he was a mighty man before the Lord. He was a very great hunter, and we were also told that he founded many cities. He founded Babel and also went to Assyria and built Nineveh. And Babel was in the land of Shinar. I'm emphasizing this because they are important in the continuation of the study of Genesis. And then we also know that the descendants of Ham included the Philistines from Casluhim, and also the Canaanites, and all the other Hivites, all the ites that are there, they are descended from Canaan, who was the son of Ham. The Canaanites spread and occupied Sodom and Gomorrah. We are told that also. So we see the significance of this chapter 10 to the continuation of the story in Genesis. And also we are told of the descendants of Ham had their clans, their languages, and also their nations. Then we are told Shem was the father of Eber, who is the forefather of who? Of Abraham. And we are told of Eber having two sons. One was Peleg. And then we are given a significant information about the geography in that time. We're told that during the days of Peleg, the earth was divided. So my question is it the geography division that we know of the earth into the continents that we know now? Or what does it mean by it being divided? We're told that the generations of Shem also had their own languages and clans and nations, and they occupied the hill country in the east. From these, the nations spread abroad on the earth after the flood. So from these three generations, we now have everyone that lives, all of us are descended from either the three sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So we know Ham was cast, and the reason why I've emphasized the generations of Ham so that we see how the ripple effect of what he did happened to his generation, and also the ripple effect of those that were blessed by God, like for example Shem, him being the father of Abraham. And now what can we learn from Genesis chapter 10? We know that the world began to populate from the three sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Each of the three genealogies had their own languages according to their clans, and also occupied different locations that they also made up their own nations. They also built nations and settled in different areas of the world. Those are the three sons of Noah. We learn of the first mighty man who built cities that lasted through the Old Testament, like I told you, of Assyria and Nineveh. And also we learn of the generations of Ham, that they brought about the Philistines, the Canaanites, who later became the adversaries of the people of Israel. They were the ones who the Israelites fought most with when they were occupying the promised land. We also see that the sin that started with Ham continued on in his generation. Maybe it's due to the curse that he was told by his father Noah, and we see that with the destruction of the Philistines and the destruction of the Canaanites by the command of the Lord through the Israelites once they came to occupy the land of Canaan. They were dispersed because of the sins that they had committed against God. And also we are told that the Canaanites also settled in Sodom and Gomorrah, and we know of the evil that those two cities committed before God, that they were burned by God. Like fire came from heaven and consumed the whole city. And the curse that was told to Ham continued on in his generation, and surely his descendants became servants of the descendants of Shem and Japheth. We also learn that the generation of Shem was blessed to be the one which Abraham would come from. We know now Abraham is the father of the Israelites, and from the Israelites came the Savior, the chosen one, the Christ, through Abraham being the father of faith. Every believer in the world is seen as a child of Abraham because of faith. And also we have learned about the division of the earth during the days of Peleg. So what can we apply from Genesis chapter 10 to our walk of faith? Firstly, are we producing the generation of faith as was commanded by Jesus Christ? We are also told to be fruitful and to multiply. We see with the sons of Noah, they continued and increased in the world. And also as we're in faith, are we increasing in our faith? Are we leading many other people into salvation because of our evangelism, because of our discipleship, because of missions and going out into the world, teaching and letting many people see the light of God? So are we carrying out the commission given to us by Jesus Christ in Matthew 28 verses 18 to 20? to go out into the whole world and make disciples of all nations. That is our responsibility, to make disciples of all nations, so that the whole world will be filled with those who know and obey God. The second thing we can apply is, are you laying a solid foundation that those who come after you might follow? We see the generations of Shem and how it grew to Abraham, to the blessings that came to Abraham, and also now to the whole world due to the faith of Abraham. And also the Savior coming from the line of Shem, his continual blessings that went on because of the foundation that he laid, with him and Japheth deciding to honor their father. And so, are we building that foundation that others may build on? Are we laying that foundation, solid foundation of faith, that those generations that are coming after us will be able to build on it, so that looking back or looking forward, we see a generation that fears the Lord? So let us lay a foundation that is going to build up to good, not the foundation that is going to build on to destruction, the way Ham's generation happened. The third thing is, the blessings of God are sure and trustworthy. Shem was blessed. His descendant is Abraham, who is the father of all people of faith. And also we see the children of people of faith and the children of promise. His blessings has a huge impact to this day. And the blessing that was given to Shem, and also the blessing that was given to Japheth, it had an impact to this day. But you see, the flip side of the coin is now Ham, and how it led to the destruction of his own generation in due time. That is what we are learning from today's Bible study. If you have learned something else, or have seen something else, feel free to comment in the comment section. So thank you for joining me today. So until next week, when we see each other again, and we look now into more of the generations in Genesis chapter 11, and also look into Babel that you've just seen now. God bless you, and see you again next week. Bye.